More than 9 in 10 crimes against the elderly are property crimes. That's according to the National Crime Prevention Council. Property crime represents the highest share of crimes against those 65 and older, not violent crime. But occasionally the two do mix, as was the case involving Margie Lou LaCastro, who was murdered in her East Bakersfield home in January during a burglary. The man charged with killing LaCastro, David Webster, is accused of letting himself into her home using a house key that she'd hidden in an electrical box. LaCastro's husband later found her stabbed multiple times. Police found Webster burglarizing another nearby home. He reportedly had items belonging to LaCastro. And stories like that put everyone on edge who either is a senior who lives alone or who has older parents who live alone. And that's why it's so important to make sure seniors do everything they can to make themselves and their property less vulnerable to crime.
There was a time when you didn't have to lock your doors, you didn't have to lock your cars.
But active senior Debbie Evans knows times have changed, and that's why she has solicited the help of the BPD's Sandy Morris, who teaches seniors how to protect themselves and their property against crime.
But I want to tell you, the way you have your home landscaped is perfect.
By perfect, Morris is referring to the perfect landscape for deterring thieves, complete with low shrubs and a clear entry.
Now, do you have motion lights out here, or do you have lights on the front of your home?
I have porch lights that I leave on all night long, but they're not motion lights.
Motion lights will not only alert the homeowner to something outside, but also neighbors. But the real safety improvements are made on the inside, starting with the doors and who comes through the doors.
You don't open your door to anyone you don't know, and you absolutely don't let anybody in that you don't know. You need to always let someone know that someone is home, because what will happen is if they knock at the front door and you don't answer, they'll go right around to the back and try to get in.
And it might sound obvious, but those doors need to be locked. Always. And when it comes to sliding doors,
it's always a good idea to put a wooden dowel or some sort of a metal hinged pole so that this door cannot be pushed forward.
That goes for windows too. And make sure doggy doors are only big enough to accommodate your doggy.
We just had a burglary where they came in through a doggy door.
As for personal security and gun ownership, Morris says seniors need to be honest with themselves about whether they'd be able to pull the trigger.
No, you have to ask yourself, would you shoot a dog? Well, if you won't shoot a dog, you'll never shoot a human being.
Morris suggests seniors invest in something as simple as a whistle, which she says can be a lifesaver.
Let's say you have fallen and you need some help. If you have a whistle, you can blow that whistle and somebody is going to hear you.
As for valuables, Morris says anything irreplaceable belongs in a safe deposit box, not in the nightstand.
TVs and stereos we can replace. Your great-grandmother's jewelry, we cannot.
Evans' home is almost textbook perfect when it comes to crime-proofing, complete with plenty of locks on doors, windows, and side gates, and in some cases, even double locks. She says getting older has only heightened her safety awareness. Do you feel more vulnerable living alone as you're getting older, or do you feel like you still, as long as you're vigilant and take precautions, everything's okay?
I have mixed emotions about that. I've thought about that a lot. And like I said, I'm not really paranoid, but since I am kind of by myself, I could see where I could be a target.
Now, the BPD has provided us with a safety checklist that is good for any homeowner to look over. That list is on our website, turnto23.com. And as far as leaving a spare key outside your home, Morris told me it's best not to, but if you do, move it frequently and don't keep it in a place that's visible from the street.